From WEEK, your home team. This is 25 News at 10.
Good Tuesday evening, everyone. I'm Tyler Lopez.
And I'm Caitlin Canute. Thank you for joining us. Set your clocks. We're just about an hour away right now from the official beginning of summer.
Grab the sunscreen, too. Here to tell us all about it is Chief Meteorologist Chuck Collins with your first alert, first summer forecast.
That's right, Caitlin and Tyler. We had some rumblers around the area today. Another round of those isolated showers and storms, some locally heavy rainfall, some lightning, a little bit of hail, nothing severe, but it made it interesting this afternoon with some of those gully washers. Now they moved off to the south. Partly cloudy skies coming to the region. There you see the radar. Most of the action is around, just to the east of Lincoln, headed toward Decatur as those showers and storms are dying out. And then it looks like on our first full day of summer tomorrow, it will be warm and muggy in the mid-80s. But as we mentioned off the top of the newscast, our summer begins at 11:24, which we're going to talk about in more detail in a couple of minutes. Length of daylight, about 15 hours and 6 minutes over the next couple of days. So you got a lot of daylight out there. And as far as the forecast for the first full day of your summer, 65 for the wake-up call. Will be in the mid to upper 80s tomorrow afternoon. But storm chances return on Thursday, and some of the moisture associated with those storms may come from an unexpected source. I'll talk about that coming your way in just a couple of minutes. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Chuck. Well, as you heard Chuck just say there, 11:24, that's actually the official start of summer. And if you're making your summer plan, surely you're curious what kind of general weather conditions we can expect.
That's right. Meteorologist Jesse Gwynn has a preview now of our new season. Jesse?
Yeah, I spent the day in Lincoln at the National Weather Service to talk about this summer's climate outlook. And as meteorologist Chris Miller explains, it looked like it'll be a little on the warm side.
For this summer, it just looks like heat will be building up in the nation's midsection. Nothing really too far out of the ordinary, but just above normal overall.
Grab the shorts and stay hydrated. Experts at the Climate Prediction Center expect above average temperatures for our region this summer. The outlook comes after forecasters examine data from our region and from around the globe. And there's no indication of abnormal precipitation. Our moisture level's been on an up and down trend, but it doesn't seem like it's been enough to make a significant difference.
Overall, we're really not seeing any widespread patterns as far as really dry or really wet. It's very spotty, which is pretty typical for summertime precipitation.
But what about storms? We've seen our fair share of them the last few days, and Saturday, we had severe weather on the radar. We saw plenty of severe weather in the spring. Does that trend look to continue?
It started early, late February, early March. Things kind of quieted down a little bit in April, then started to become active again late April into the first part of May. So that's been highly variable as well. So we're not seeing any trends there like we've seen in past years of either way above or way below normal as far as severe weather is concerned.
So again, temperatures are what stands out to meteorologists and climatologists looking at the next 3 months. So dress cool and remember to stay hydrated. I'm Jesse Gwynn for 25 News. Back to you, Tyler.
All right, thanks, Jesse. Dangerously high temperatures across the Southern California desert have people there urging residents and visitors to take precautions. Death Valley was projected to reach, listen to this, up to 127 degrees today, and the scorching weather is there to stay, with temps predicted to stick around in the 120s all week. Midday hiking is discouraged, although some folks could be spotted taking their chances. It is so hot in other parts of SoCal, the residents are being encouraged to close the blinds in their homes to minimize the heat and seek cooling centers for some relief. The NBC News station in Phoenix even went a step further, taking to the chocolate and strawberries route. This is inside a car as the high temperature there hit 119. The low was 85. But on a serious note, in that kind of intense heat, yes, you can bake cookies, but streets can leak tar and some airplanes can be grounded due to heat. The biggest concern is that people are susceptible to heat exhaustion because heat kills more people in the U.S. than any other type of weather.
But what does the heat around here do to our crops as we're heading into the summer months? Many farmers and even those of you going to the grocery store are wondering what kind of a yield we'll see. Well, an expert analyst found the corn is looking a bit stressed right now, but says there's no reason for worry yet. That analyst with Bennett Consulting presented expectations for this year's crops at the Peoria County Farm Bureau Park. He says with the amount of rain we saw earlier this spring, soybeans are a little behind, but they still expect to have an above average yield. But he says if corn does not catch a break from this heat soon, farmers could come in about 10% below what's considered to be a top yield or basically a good year.
At this point, I think the corn crop's okay, but where we see it rolling so much, it's trying to protect itself. I don't think it's permanently damaging it, but it's not going to take a whole lot more, and we're going to see some of that damage set in.
Well, that consultant says if the weather cooperates for about the next 6 weeks, farmers should have a plentiful harvest, which translates to stable prices at the grocery store. Some good news for Caterpillar. The company is seeing some growth when it comes to machine sales so far this year. A filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission reports total machine sales were actually up 8% worldwide last month. That growth is mainly driven in the Asia-Pacific region, that region seeing machine sales spike by 49%. The filing also reports energy and transportation retail sales were up about 4% worldwide last month.
Summertime is also generally when gas prices hit their peak for the year, but so far we're doing pretty well. In Peoria, the average price is $2.17 a gallon, the lowest at $2.02. And in Bloomington, normal. The average is $2.33, but the lowest only $1.87 there. Police are working several recent incidents at gas stations where people have been skipping out. Managers at the North Allen Road Hucks and the MacArthur Shell gas station both reported incidents like this last week. In both cases, the suspect opted to pay inside, gassed up, and then took off. An employee says incidents like this happen every week, but stealing gas is a Class A misdemeanor, which can result in fines for a first offense, but if you do it again, it becomes a Class 4 felony.
Peoria County Sheriff Mike McCoy just hit his 15 years of service, but he's celebrating by hanging up that uniform and instead gearing up for a new assignment. You'll recall McCoy announced he's leaving to become the new Washington police chief. And while he's excited to start his new task of making the Washington force the very best in the Midwest, as he puts it, he says he will miss all of the great memories he's made there at the sheriff's office.
I think that some of the high spots are watching the guys do the work and make the good cases, the Larry Bright case, you know, nobody thought we'd ever solve. And also the little things of being able to help people. You know, to get a letter from a citizen that says, hey, I just want to call and tell you thank you, Deputy so-and-so changed my tire for me last night in the rain.
McCoy believes the department has come a long way in his 15 years there. He says he hopes the community will continue to support the sheriff's office even after he's gone. Longtime Bartonville Police Chief Brian Fengel wants a new job. He's expected to announce his candidacy tomorrow to become the next sheriff in Peoria County. Again, as we said, current Sheriff Mike McCoy retired to be the chief of police in Washington. Now, he's recommended Peoria Jail Superintendent Brian Aspel to succeed him until the election next year. The county board does have to appoint a fellow Republican to replace McCoy until then. Fengel, meanwhile, has served with the Bartonville Police Department for nearly 30 years, 20 of them serving as the chief.
Two great things you normally wouldn't think of together, recycling your old electronics and landscaping. But there is an opportunity to get your fill of both this weekend. Peoria Public Works is hosting its annual free mulch giveaway. It's on Saturday. Make sure you get there early, though, because the mulch goes fast. It runs between 8 a.m. and noon. And while you're there, bring your old TVs, your speakers, computers, and other electronics so they can be safely recycled.
It's good for the community. They'll be able to capitalize on some product that a lot of people want to use in their yards for the summer.
That same day, the Tireless Project will hold its monthly collection of unwanted tires on Darst Street from 9 to 11 a.m. Hospitals and emergency rooms are filling with patients on opioid painkillers, with more than 1 million visits in 2014, according to new government data. The Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality says that hospitalizations involving opioids or heroin increased an incredible 75% for women since 2005. They're up 55% for men. In 2014 alone, hospitalization rates were highest in Maryland, but lowest in Iowa and Nebraska. People between the ages of 25 and 44 were most likely to go to the ER with an opioid-related issue.
Governor Rauner is urging lawmakers to end the unnecessary budget crisis on the eve of a 10-day special session in Springfield. The governor issued his address on Facebook Live from the old state capitol. Rauner says failure to work together could cause permanent damage to our state.
Over the next 10 days, we have an opportunity to change the state of Illinois for the better, to give our people a future they can believe in, to give job creators a reason to come and families a reason to stay. We can reach an agreement.
Well, Democrats, meanwhile, dismissed Rauner's speech as campaigning, saying he hasn't shown any unity in his tenure. Unfortunately, the special session will make the budget crisis even more expensive for taxpayers starting tomorrow. That's because each day they're in a special session, it's going to cost an extra $48,000. And if they don't agree on a spending plan, millions of dollars in road construction projects will come to a halt. We're talking thousands of Illinois Department of Transportation workers who would be laid off potentially as of July 1st. Last year, when faced with a similar situation, lawmakers did end up approving a stopgap budget, but legislative leaders, including Governor Rauner himself, have said that will not happen this time around. One state senator says Illinois' economy could take a huge hit.
As contractors are kind of gearing up as to what to anticipate in July, they're having to lay off people right now. So this thing is already a mess, and we shouldn't ever have to deal with this in any year.
Republican State Senator Chuck Weaver, meanwhile, says he is optimistic the legislature will agree on a budget. But again, if that does not happen by next Friday, June 30th, this will make for the third year in a row Illinois legislators failed to adopt a permanent budget on time.
Incremental improvements are noted in a new report, but our state's child welfare group still has a problem with the revolving door of leadership. A new 300-page report finds some progress within the Department of Children and Family Services, despite the uncertainty of state finances. DCFS has had 6 leaders since 2013, and now, after a resignation, needs a 7th. Children's health is among the many things up in the air as Republicans in the Senate put together their version of the bill to repeal and replace Obamacare. So far, all of their talks have been done behind closed doors, so no one really knows what the new bill includes. Republican leader Mitch McConnell says he'll release a draft of the bill Thursday. The House version is estimated to kick about 20 million people off of their current health care, according to the Congressional Budget Office. There's more for Lincoln in your hometown tonight.
We have reason maybe to rethink your home security because this guy here, he's not the homeowner, but he is being watched. Wait till you hear what happens.
You're watching 25 News at 10 with Tyler Lopez, Caitlin Canute, Chief Meteorologist Chuck Collins, and Jim Matson, Sports. 25 News is your home team.
After that storm rolled through, really had a pretty nice evening.
Yeah, and some beautiful pictures that you're getting too, Chuck.
One great thing about our viewers, they post religiously on our Facebook fan page and our Twitter pages, all of our platforms, and we're going to show you a few of those pictures. Wish I could show them all, but you can go to our Facebook site and our Twitter site and take a look at those. But let's go outside and take a look at those right now because we want to show you the first one is a special one right off the bat, and this is Dylan Rubel's first rainbow. She's about 3.5 right there, and she's looking out the rainbow. Her mom, Brandy, sent that in to us. Okay, here's a Tammy Marquez wondering what's at the end of the rainbow. Aren't we all, Tammy? Joanna Horner, Route 136, Havana Way. Route 136 had a cluster of showers and storms going on for about a couple of hours here this afternoon. Cheryl Hillier of Table Grove right there. Let's go to some more and take a look at some of these great pictures. This is from Michelle Beal. That's Washington with her rainbow picture. Ken Simmons of Chatsworth, another double rainbow in Chatsworth right there. Ken Klopfenstein, rainbow after the shower. And let's go to Woodrow Wilson School in Peoria. That was Marcy Burdett taking a look at that rainbow. And thanks to everybody who posted those on our social media pages. But the granddaddy of them all was our own Skywatch Camera Network, downtown Peoria. Big old rainbow looking right down to I-74 there. And that's always a great shot, especially when there's rainbow action there. 69 right now in Peoria. East-northeasterly winds at 90% relative humidity. Twin Cities, you're looking at 66. South-southeasterly winds at 87% relative humidity. Satellite radar, we continue to see these showers hold on just outside the viewing area down around the Macon County and Decatur, but nothing here. But notice how they came once again northwest to southeast in the flow and dumped some locally heavy rainfall, but it didn't last long in most locations. But we had some feisty storms out there late this afternoon and this evening. The big weather story nationally, though, is Tropical Storm Cindy dumping heavy rain on the Gulf Coast. How heavy, you say? Well, in parts of Louisiana into the Gulf Coast states of Alabama and Mississippi could see upwards of a foot of rain out of that system. Of course, lesser amounts as you go northbound, but still flooding situation there. And we might have some of her moisture come into central Illinois. I'll show you that on Futurecast. Not tomorrow, That's 9 o'clock in the morning for the wake-up call. Everything's good. Maybe a few clouds, another little disturbance passing on through tomorrow afternoon. And then as we get into Thursday, notice these little dots in the atmosphere. Yeah, those are residual showers coming northbound from Cindy. Not much to them. They will be whisked, though, out of the area with a cold front on Thursday night and Friday. That cold front may spell some active weather for us here in central Illinois. Storm Prediction Center has the area split in half in a marginal and slight risk category. This would be late Thursday night, early Friday morning. Isolated strong storms, a possibility of nothing widespread, and we could be looking at that going through the area in the wee hours of Thursday into Friday morning, and then out of here Thursday, rather out of here Friday, I should say, and then a great-looking weekend coming up. Forecast tonight, partly cloudy, warm and muggy out there, lows around 60, northwesterlies at 5 to 10. Then tomorrow we'll go mostly sunny, warm and muggy, maybe a few clouds in the afternoon, and it looks like we'll be precip-free. An isolated shower maybe, but not a big chance there. 86 for the high around the area, so mid-80s tomorrow afternoon, the first full day of summer here in the northern hemisphere, including central Illinois. We'll look for those showers and storms, it looks like late on Thursday and early Friday. Then once that system passes, a good-looking weekend coming our way, a breath of fresh air with mid-70s with lower humidity values. And it looks like it'll be a dry forecast for throughout most of next week coming up. So this on-again, off-again shower situation should level itself out as we get into the weekend. So
okay, let's hope so.
Yeah.
Thanks, Chuck. A terror attack is stopped in progress.
We're headed back to Europe, where again an investigation is underway.
The Sam Lehman Automotive Group Skywatch Northwest Peoria Cam is brought to you by Illinois Eye Center.
Ford F-Series.
Have you ever had the feeling that someone is watching you?
Well, maybe this guy might have, for good reason, as he was trying to rob a home in Albuquerque, New Mexico. So take a look. So the homeowner was able to watch him as he's wandering around. He turns on the TV, even helps himself to a beer out of the refrigerator. The neighbors, though, came over to help after the homeowner called them, and they came armed, too.
Bringing a gun with them, and they quickly confronted the man while waiting for police to arrive. They didn't want to wait inside. They took him outside and tied him up, hands and feet with duct tape. We believe that's a signal to police that it's being blurred, and that's how they found him outside the home. No doubt he wondered, how in the world did they know I was here?
Definitely picked the wrong house to break into, apparently, in the wrong neighborhood.
A different kind of capture ended a terror threat in Belgium today.
So just hours ago, authorities in Brussels joined Paris and London as they said a suspect was quote-unquote neutralized at the city's main train station. NBC's Laura Aggery takes us to Belgium and the latest incident today.
Late this afternoon, Brussels authorities confirmed that security forces confronted a suspicious man at a train station and shot him. There are also reports of an explosion. A nearby city square was immediately evacuated. Brussels police alerted the public to stay away from the area using social media. At this time, there are no reports of deaths or injuries. Belgium has been on high alert since suicide bombers killed 32 people on the Brussels subway and at an airport in March of 2016. Also this week, London and Paris, two cities grappling with violent attacks this week. Yesterday in Paris, the famed Champs-Élysées Avenue shut down after a man, whom police said was a known extremist, rammed a police convoy. That attacker died at the scene. Forensics teams found weapons and explosives in his car. In London, a 47-year-old father of four arrested after police say he drove his van into a crowd of worshipers, leaving a mosque early Monday morning, injuring 10. At the site of Monday's mosque attack, a familiar scene grows. Flowers, candles, mementos, and signs reaffirming that fear and hate will not win. Laura Aguirre, NBC News.
Sports is next with Jim Matson, a former NFL linebacker, stopped by Washington High today.
Plus, the Peoria All-Stars will play in next month's $2 million winner-take-all basketball tourney. Their story next on 25 Sports.
25 News is brought to you by Marine Bank, your home for mortgage lending the way.
Hello, sports fans. Anthony Rizzo does not need a hard slide into home plate tonight. Instead, he simply circles the bases. First pitch of the game, Rizzo did it again. He's been the leadoff hitter for a week. He's been on base all 7 games to lead off the game, and 3 times He's gone bomb. His 17th homer of the year. He's the new Ricky Henderson, Rizzy Henderson, huh? Mike Montgomery pitched 6 shutout innings to get his first win. Oh, yeah, Ian Happ hit a homer as well, his 9th of the year. Fun night for the Cubbies. They're winners tonight, 4-zip. They'll go for the sweep tomorrow. Cardinals and Phillies went extra innings in Philadelphia. Game tied 1-1 in the 11th when the Cardinals explode. Stephen Piscotty hits the gap to drive in 2 Redbirds, and well, that started a huge inning for the Cardinals. Yadi Molina cranked his 9th homer. Tommy Pham, his 7th homer, a tape measure shots. Jed Jerko also homered in the Cardinals' 8-1 victory over the Phillies. The White Sox in Minnesota, the White Sox playing long ball. Avisail Garcia, his 11th homer here. Jose Abreu and Matt Davidson have homered as well. But the White Sox are losing a wild one. It's 8-7 Twins. That game in the 8th inning. Remember all the Jimmy Butler trade rumors last night? Well, today the reports are Butler wants to stay in Chicago and continue to lead a mediocre, going nowhere fast franchise. The TBT, the basketball tournament, plays in Peoria next month. The tourney seeds are announced today. The defending regional champ, the Always a Brave Bradley alumni team, is seeded 3rd. A Marquette alumni team is 1, and an Ohio State alumni team are 2. The number 11 seed is another team from Peoria, a team that earned its spot this past weekend. The Peoria All-Stars are on the TBT bracket. The Peoria basketball team earned their spot in the 64-team The Basketball Tournament by winning 2 games in Philadelphia. They beat a team of stars from Philadelphia and a team of stars from New York and had to explain where Peoria was.
They couldn't even say Peoria when we first got there, but they were able to say it after we left. I think they took us lightly. I don't think people really thought we were going to win, but we knew in our hearts that we can beat anybody when we play as one.
The Peoria All-Stars is an entirely Central Illinois team. Plenty of recent college stars like Brett Bisping, Lawrence Alexander, and Eldonis Foote.
I think going there, they say he was the underdog, which was fine. That's how we wanted to be. But I think leaving there, I think they now know what Peoria basketball is.
The Peoria All-Stars were proud to go to Philadelphia and prove that, yes, Peoria is a basketball town, but they're also playing for the youth of Peoria, trying to send a oh-so-important message.
There's a lot of violence going on in Peoria, so we want to give our city some hope and let them know, hey, you can do this too, you know, something positive instead of guns and things like that. So that's what we're playing for, the pride of our city and for our youth.
I mean, I'm from the Harrison Homes. I moved here, moved straight into the Harrison Homes. Crime written. You know, basketball saved, it saved a lot of us. It saved a lot of youth today. It is an outlet.
The Peoria All-Stars are playing with a purpose, and next month they will be playing in the Peoria Midwest Regional. Good luck to the Peoria All-Stars. The Washington Panthers football team getting tips today from former San Diego Charger and Oakland Raider Colton Underwood. Underwood is back at his high school alma mater, getting ready for his big youth camp this Saturday.
You know, coming back here is always special. I mean, this is a town that sort of supported me from the start and always believed in the dream and let me and encouraged me to dream. So, I feel like it's my responsibility and my duty to get back to these kids and really work with them and help them every time I'm in town.
We'll have more with Colton coming up tomorrow at 6. 4 Peoria Chiefs played in tonight's Midwest League All-Star game. They were on the winning team, helping the West win 5-2. Time now for tonight's Jim Dandy, our 25 sports play of the day. We're sticking with minor league baseball. The Indianapolis Indians pitcher Drew Hutchinson.
Swung on, ground ball back to Hutchinson.
Ground ball went right into his shirt. Yeah, it went off his glove into his shirt. He had to reach between a couple of buttons and pull the baseball out of there, but he found the baseball in time to get the out. A little shirt trick. Tonight's Jim Dandy.
And the team manager gets an assist.
Probably.
The equipment manager.
All right, we'll check in with Chuck one last time. Up next.
It's easier than ever to buy the vehicle of your dreams at Jaguar Land Rover Peoria.
This is going to be, I think, the longest day in our lives.
Is this the longest day of the year?
Well, every day is a long day for me.
Wow.
Remodel your kitchens now at UFS. For a limited time, kitchen cabinets are 50% off, plus free design. UFS, about 10 minutes from anywhere.
Stay awake now. Summer arrives at 11:24, so you got to hang in there. Otherwise, the first full day of summer weather tomorrow, it'll be a good one. As far as outdoor activities are concerned, especially swimming, will be in the mid-80s, a little bit more humidity, high UV index out there, and we should put to rest those isolated thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon as well.
Sounds good.
Let's check in with Jimmy Fallon in New York.
Hey guys, Amy Poehler is my guest tonight. Plus, we have Zendaya, music from Imagine Dragons. Do not change the channel, it's a good show.
And tonight, A California woman thought she was picking up her dog's rope toy, but
Oh, no.
instead, it was a venomous baby rattlesnake that she grabbed. Oh, my.
Oh, no, no, no. Panic ensued. She high-stepped it out of there with her playful dog clearly thinking the close call was a game. No game there. Oh, my goodness.
And no doubt the dog's barking all the way, which does not help.
I liked her touchdown dance. That was very nice.
Very good.
Yes, she would have spiked the snake.
Good quickness. We'll see you
Give
tomorrow.
me nightmares for hours.
Introducing the new